I've traveled over 140 countries around the world. And so I'll paraphrase the phrase in my own neighborhood. The rest of the countries, the world's not a patch on our genes. If we do what we want to do, we need to do.
This is my first video update coming to you from Larnaca, Cyprus on this Thursday morning. Let's talk about some news. What is going on in the world today? Joe Bidenopolis. Man, oh man, what was he saying in that video clip? What was he saying? Let me pull out the quote here so we could try to make some sense of Biden's wise words. I've got the quote handy. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Biden said, "I'll paraphrase the phrase of my old neighborhood. The rest of the countries, the world is not a patch in our genes. If we do what we want to do, we need to do." Wow. It's pretty deep, actually. If we do what we want to do, we need to do. If we do what we want to do, we need to do. That is deep. That is really, really deep. The world is not a patch in our genes. If we do what we want to do, we need to do. I don't know. I think Biden is telling the world something. I think he's telling the world something. Not sure what it is, but he's telling the world something. So Biden approved, or he is thinking of approving. He hasn't approved it just yet, but we know he's going to do it. More military aid to Ukraine. And this time, the U.S. is thinking about sending Bradley fighting vehicles. Macron, by the way, is also going to be sending more military aid to Ukraine. He told reporters, after he held a call with Zelensky, that France will be increasing the aid to Ukraine by accepting to deliver AMX-10 RC light tanks. So Macron called Zelensky, and Zelensky said, time to pay the globalist dues, the globalist fees. What you got? And Macron said, I got some light tanks. And Zelensky said, I'll take them. Biden, he is going to be sending Bradley fighting vehicles. Now, there was some talk that the Biden White House was going to send some Abrams tanks, or at least the neocons, and a lot of the neocon people in Congress, in the Senate, they wanted Biden to send Abrams tanks. But as Brian Berletic has pointed out so many times on the New Atlas, the Abrams tanks are just a no-go for the conflict in Ukraine. Even the Washington Post is admitting as much. The WAPO, the Jeff Bezos-owned CIA WAPO, said that the Abrams tanks weigh 55 tons and rely on a gas turbine engine that consumes fuel at a tremendous rate, a source told the publication on condition of anonymity. For comparison, one of the most massive tanks used by the armed forces of Ukraine, the T-72, weighs 42 tons. Tank Oblot, 51 tons. The Abrams are also prone to breakage and require extensive maintenance experience, the Washington Post article says. So they are not going to be sending Abrams tanks to Ukraine. They are going to be sending the Bradleys. That is what Biden is going to be going with, Bradley infantry fighting vehicles in this next military aid package. So that is the news from the United States, from the Biden White House, and the wise words from Biden during a speech he was giving the other day. Let's just repeat those words once again, because I think it's important to not only talk about news on this channel, but to try and enrich the soul and the spirit, feed the spirit and the soul with these incredible words from Bidenopolis. The rest of the countries, the world, is not a patch in our genes. If we do what we want to do, we need to do. So Estonia is trying to find a way to seize Russian assets, and they are actually now looking for the legal loopholes to get moving on seizing Russian assets in Estonia. And once they seize these assets, they will, of course, give them to Zelensky, right? And Zelensky is going to use those assets to better the lives of the people of Ukraine, right? No, no, that is not what these assets are going to be used for. Not at all. This is a robbery, a theft. Make no mistake about it. But this is what the EU is all about. The EU is all about seizing, not freezing, as Ursula von der Leyen called it. This is something that the EU has been doing for a long, long time. So for them to seize these Russian assets is nothing new. And 2023, I believe, will be the year where the EU finally says, you know what, we got all of these billions sitting around. I don't know how many billions there are in frozen assets. I've heard two huge extremes. I've heard from the low end, or I've read from the low end, 30 billion, and I've read from the high end, 300 billion. I don't know, but it's a lot. It's a lot of money. And the EU kleptocrats, whether it's 30 billion or 300 billion, you know that they just want to get their hands on that money. They see it right there, and they're like, legal restrictions, international law. Who cares? Let's just get this money, and we have the greatest washing machine at our disposal to get this money back into our pockets and back to the pockets of our donors and mentors and rulers and Schwabs and WEFs and all of the elite, the Europe globalist elite. We have the best washing machine in the freaking world, known as Ukraine and Zelensky. It's a pity to have all of these billions just sitting there, and we can't get to it because of some little thing called law, called international law. Why should we let that stop us? And plus, it has the added benefit of giving the EU another nice talking point for their war against Russia. Ursula can get up on the stage in front of the podium and say, "We have now seized Russian assets totaling 300 billion. Russia's economy is in tatter, and Putin's war machine is coming to an end. This money will be used to better the lives of Ukrainians and to better the lives of the Zelensky regime." That is what Ursula is going to say in the speech as they seize these assets. But this is what 2023 is going to bring. It is going to bring the seizure of Russian assets. The European Union is going to cross another Rubicon, another red line. They did it with SWIFT. They were warned, don't kick Russia out of SWIFT. The collective West kicked Russia out of SWIFT. They were warned, don't put a price cap on oil. They put a price cap on oil. They were warned, don't put a price cap on gas. They put a price cap on gas. And so they've been warned, don't seize these assets. It is going to set a terrible precedent. It's going to cause all kinds of legal problems, as well as investment problems, economic problems, trust issues. It's going to be a complete mess. And of course, Russia can always retaliate. And I'm positive that Russia has all kinds of ways to retaliate against the seizure of their assets. And they will retaliate. But, the EU, they've been warned, don't do it. But no reverse gear. They are out of sanctions. They have no more talking points. They have all this money sitting right there that they just want to get their hands on. And it's just It's just too much. It's too tempting. So they're going to do it. And Estonia is leading the charge. Big surprise that a Baltic nation is leading the charge in the seizure of these assets. Poland, talking about money, Poland is really going hard at Germany for the 1.3 trillion in reparations. Poland once again called on Germany to give the money, to pony up the 1.3 trillion in World War II reparations. The Polish Foreign Ministry, they said that this money is owed to Poland for the devastating damage done during World War II by Germany, and it's time for Germany to finally pay up. And Germany's response to the latest, because Poland has been doing this for a while now, but Germany's response to the latest call for the 1.3 trillion is that Germany said they consider the case completely and absolutely closed. And Germany also said that they're not going to get into any type of negotiation or discussion for this 1.3 trillion in reparations. That was Germany's response to Poland. So Poland is they really want this money, don't they? Or they really want to build the narrative of Germany owes them. Because at the end of the day, I was going to go for a walk, but one sec. I'm trying to think, where should I go? Where should I walk to take everybody? Should I walk on the beach or should I walk to show everybody the restaurants? That's what I'll probably do. We'll probably do a walk towards the end of the video to show some of the restaurants close to the beach. But the narrative is that the case that Poland is making is that Germany owes us something, right? You owe us. You owe us because of World War II. Fair enough. But they're really making this a big deal this year. For some reason, this year they're really amplifying this narrative. And I wonder why. So let me throw a couple of things out there. And I'm not saying this is what's going on. I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there for discussion. Well, the first thing that they could do if they really want to get the money to Poland, and this is kind of a joke, but don't take this seriously, but the first thing that they could do is they could agree that Germany pays Ukraine 1.3 trillion, and then Ukraine can pay Poland 1.3 trillion, and then everything is good, right? They could do something like that, and then everyone could get their 10% commission for putting together this type of deal. But yeah, I'm sure that if the powers that be really leaned on Germany and told Germany, look, just give $1 trillion to Ukraine, the German government would do it. They would happily do it. They would say, okay, Schultz would say, okay, here's $1 trillion. Here's $1 trillion. And then Zelensky could give the $1 trillion minus his cut, his fees. He can give it to Poland. But all jokes aside, Poland is saying that Germany owes us for World War II. Okay? Now, we did a video on the Duran about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. And we talked about the Poland entry into West Ukraine, the Polish entry into West Ukraine, the possible entry into West Ukraine, the 200,000. I've heard 300,000 now. Anyway, let's say 200,000 soldiers, people that are being recruited to do something in Poland or in West Ukraine, whether they're being recruited as some sort of deterrence against Belarus and Russia, or whether they're being recruited to enter the west of Ukraine and take back what is historically Polish territory, Polish land, which is Lviv. Whatever it is, there's a lot of people talking about this 200,000 force that is being assembled, and it should be ready in May. They're going to be all trained up and ready to go sometime around May, June. And we talked about this on the Duran, and let's assume that this 200,000, their purpose is to enter the west of Ukraine and to take back Lviv. Let's just assume that. Alexander made a very interesting point, and I don't think anyone has brought this up, that after World War II, in order to compensate Poland for the loss of Lviv, territories which are now considered west of Poland, but are thought to be, are considered by many Germans and many historians to be German land, was given to Poland. So Poland lost Lviv after World War II, but what they did is, to compensate Poland, they gave them German territory, right, in the West. That's, in summary, in a nutshell, very quickly, that's the deal. I know there's a lot of history to it and nuance and all of these things. I get that, but we can't go into that in this video. But let's just work off of that assumption. Let's just work off of that talking point. And so I wonder if, and Alexander said, if Poland were to go into Lviv, then perhaps on a diplomatic level, Germany can go to Poland and say, wait a minute, you've now been made whole from your World War II losses. Poland's been made whole again because now you've got the territory that you lost in World War II. So how about, we get some of our land back that we lost to you, that was given to you after World War II. And Germany can make that claim if Poland goes and takes the west of Ukraine towards the east of Poland, takes Lviv. And so I wonder if this 1.3 trillion is kind of being thrown out there so that when and if and when Poland does decide to move into Western Ukraine, and Germany then comes back at Poland and says, wait a minute, how come you guys get to reclaim your territory from World War II and we have to continue to, and we lose our territory from World War II? How come you guys are made whole and we're not made whole? What's going on here? I wonder if that 1.3 trillion is kind of meant to tell Germany, you know what, Germany, shut up, don't say anything. We've got Lviv. You owe us 1.3 trillion, so we'll just keep what we got from World War II, and even Steven, right? We're all even. Even Steven. That was a Jerry Seinfeld episode, actually. Even Steven. I wonder if that's what this whole 1.3 trillion thing is meant for, because Poland knows that they're not going to get the money from Germany, right? They know this is not possible, but they're constantly bringing it up now. Every week, they're pestering Germany, 1.3 trillion, 1.3 trillion. And they're getting upset, like they're putting out some pretty tough statements towards Germany. For example, the Deputy Prime Minister of Poland said to dismiss that with just one sentence means that all assurances about excellent German-Polish relations are false. When he says that, he means to dismiss our calls for reparations with just a sentence of, this case is closed, which is what Germany replied. We consider this case closed. The Deputy Foreign Minister of Poland is saying, we don't really have an excellent relationship, Germany and Poland. It's all BS. It's all false, as he says. So I wonder if that's the play being made here. 1.3 trillion is what you owe us. We've got Lviv. You owe us 1.3 trillion. We'll just keep the territory that was given to us after World War II. Consider your 1.3 trillion reparations all paid up. We're all good. Germany, sit back down, Schultz. Don't whine about what we did in Lviv. Don't complain about it. Possibly. I'm not saying that's the case, but possibly. I just wanted to throw that out there. Do I have any more stories before we take a tour of the restaurants? Let's see here. Do I have more stories? We have this story coming out of Italy. It's not a huge story, but I'll relay it to everyone. Then we'll do a quick clown world and we'll end this video, and then I'll take everybody on a tour. We'll start at the meeting pub. That's what we'll start out at. The meeting pub, and then we'll walk down a bit for like a couple minutes. So Italy, Meloni, in her end of the year speech to the citizens of Italy, she talked about how Italy needs to continue to support Ukraine, but then she talked about perhaps Italy acting as some sort of a mediator in a ceasefire negotiations, just so that Italy can be a guarantor of Ukraine's security as well. And Maria Zakharova, she shot that down like right away. She basically said, you know what, Italy, there is no chance in you know what that Italy can mediate, because Italy is actively weaponizing Ukraine to fight Russia. So how could it possibly be a fair mediator of some sort of ceasefire? Yeah, that's what Zakharova said. She said, it is strange for us to hear mediation proposals from nations that have taken an unambiguous and quite aggressive anti-Russian position from the very beginning of the military operation in Ukraine. That was what Zakharova said with regards to Meloni's proposal. So Meloni's mediation proposal has been shot down very, very quickly by Maria Zakharova. Let's do a quick clown world and we will end this video. And this is a super quick clown world. It has to do with art. I like art. Do you like art? I love art. I also like street art. Street art is always interesting. And this street art comes courtesy of a Polish artist. I don't know the Polish artist's name. I don't have that handy. I'll look it up and maybe I'll put it up on the screen as well so you can see who the artist is. But a Polish artist painted street art, like right on the pavement of a street in Berlin, and it's a picture of Zelensky in the form of a pimple, in the form of a pimple. And the whole point of it is that Zelensky is the biggest pimple in the world in 2023, and we must squeeze it out. Street art. Street art. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. Street art in Berlin. I wonder how the citizens of Berlin view that street graffiti or street art. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. We are at the meeting pub in Larnaca, Cyprus. Let's take a walk. I'm done with the news. If you want to stick with me for 2-3 minutes as we take a walk down the promenade and I show you the restaurants, maybe I'll give you guys a quick review as well. Quick review of the restaurants, because I've eaten at a lot of these places, so I'll tell you if they're good. Thumbs up or thumbs down. And that's it. If you want to sign out of this video, if you want to close down this video, go ahead. The news is done. Subscribe to this channel if you want. If you don't, that's also cool. Duran shop, 10% off. Use the code GOODDAY. We are on Locals. We are on Rockfin. We are on Telegram and Rumble and ODYSEE and BitChute. And Alexander's channel is on all of those platforms. And the Duran's channel is on all of those platforms. Let's take a walk. We start at the meeting pub. They have all the Premier League football matches. And they have an awesome English breakfast. Awesome English breakfast. They got a ton of beers there as well. A good selection of beers. The Bay Street pub. This is actually an Irish pub. Really good. Also very, very good. Good burgers. Let's see here. We've got KFC. KFC, the Colonel. The Colonel. We've got Fridays. We've got TGI's. They've got a premium steak combo and a free coffee with any dessert. All right. Good outdoor seating at Fridays, right by the beach. You got yoga artists for frozen yogurt. I've actually had frozen yogurt here. Good. Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Very, very good. Very tasty. Let's see. Al Dente. I've eaten here as well. Italian place. Not bad. Give it a thumbs up. The brewery. This place has got really, really good burgers. The brewery restaurant. Really good burgers. And since we're talking about burgers, well, we got a McDonald's. Mickey D's by the beach. Mickey D's by the beach. McDonald's, everybody. Or as it's called in Russia, Vkusna i Tochka. Vkusna i Tochka is what it's called in Russia, I believe. So that's McDonald's. I'll give it a thumbs down. Let's see here. Greek Tavern. Very, very good. Very, very good Greek Tavern here. We got a bar. This used to be a bar, but it closed down. And we'll go for like another, we'll go to 2-3 more restaurants and I'll sign off. We've got the Coffee Corner. This is a really good place. I like this place a lot. If you're ever in Larnaca, you may actually find me here. And I'm in Larnaca. If you're in Larnaca and I'm in Larnaca, good chance I'll be here at the Coffee Corner. Of course, we got Starbucks and we got BK. I'm loving it. Burger King. I like Burger King better than McDonald's. How about you guys? Which one do you prefer? BK or Mickey D's? And we got a Cafe Nero. And we'll end it there. The Duran.locals.com. Once again, Duran shop, 10% off. Use the code GOODDAY. Take care.